All right, you're all set.
Okay, so I'd like to call to order the Anna Reynolds School Project Building Committee. It is October 17th and it is 5:17. Lauren, do the roll call, please.
Chairman Woods,
Here.
Dave Nagel,
Here.
Jeremy Wetzel.
Here. Okay, so if anybody is watching, you can see we don't have a quorum yet, although actually, I guess she's Deputy Mayor Rada said she will be joining us. So we're going to proceed informally, just to get an update from the architect and more than likely owner's project manager and possibly um, the construction manager. We will not take any action on any items because we do not have a quorum yet. So with that, Jennifer.
Okay. Okay. So our recent activity has been still participating in some meetings in person and some virtual things as we are trying to close things up. Most recently today, we were talking about mechanical systems and status of finalizing commissioning and all of that related to mechanical systems. We continue to review, thankfully they're few and far between, although today we do have a number of PCOs on the table, so we're continuing to review those. Rich will go over each. And reviewing closeout documentation. So there's still a lot of submittals coming in just for closeout to make sure that we have all the warranties documented, operation and maintenance materials provided, as built, all of that kind of stuff. So we're just getting closer to that true finish line. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Jennifer? I don't think so, Jennifer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll move down to owner's project manager update as well as financial update. Eileen, you could do both of those for us.
Sure. All right. So the Anna Reynolds update is basically, like Jennifer said, the team's still working on closeout at the moment and finalizing open items. We still have weekly meetings and we're working on getting the commissioning items closed, which has to do with the mechanical systems. So working on closeout for that, and then any other remaining open items like Newfield's punch list. I'm also working in the background with Lou and Steve to get a few things completed for the school, as we still have a budget. And we can go over some of those things afterwards. Does anyone have any questions before I bring up the budget?
No, I think you're good. Go ahead.
All right. Yes. Can everyone see that all right?
I think so. I can.
Okay, great. So we're very close to being done here, and Steve, you and I will have to talk and close some of these items out, but architectural design fees were nearly done. Owner's representative. The hazardous material testing is closed currently, and our third-party inspections by Verstig, Suzak, which he was our structural engineer, we received his final invoice, which you'll see tonight, so that is closed, and Tri-State as well. Environment, we also closed.
Okay, let me just stop you for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Brittany has joined us, Brittany Carr, one of the committee members, so we do have a quorum now. So any action that needs to be taken moving forward, we'll be able to do so. With that, go ahead and finish.
Great. All right, so we still have some money remaining in moving and storage costs. About 20%, so we can utilize this money elsewhere. Freeman, I called them back to come do some additional inspections just because the ENS controls are still open until the site work is completed and everyone signs off on it. We're nearly close with the FF&E invoices and technology. We still have some funds remaining. I am still waiting for a couple of furniture invoices to still come in. Right now, in owner contingency remaining, we have 317,627.56.
Okay,
Does anyone have any current questions?
anyone? I have one, probably maybe more for Jennifer than you, Eileen, but whoever can answer it. Have we reached substantial completion as far as the site work goes? Has that date been established?
You're on mute, Jennifer.
Sorry. We have not, for site work, we have not given that substantial completion yet. We could backdate if we have an agreement with all parties that it should be a certain date that's in the past. I can backdate it, but at this point in time, Castle Blues wasn't comfortable in giving substantial completion yet.
Is there any big obstacles that we're looking at that we have to overcome, or just a typical seed establishment, plants, you know?
Right, we're still waiting on establishment of lawns and things. We can write we could write a substantial completion, noting those items that they're still outstanding. And honestly, if the owner is interested in providing that substantial completion, like we're okay as long as it's noted that we still have lawns that are not established.
Okay,
Right. I would say the site plan needs to be marked up is what, along with that, if we were gonna do that, proceed in that way.
all right, and does Freeman have to sign off? For their
Well, I
part?
believe they have an open permit and that's Rich. Isn't there an open permit on the ENS controls?
There is, so I believe, yes, we'd have to get Freeman involved to sign off on that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Do you think that's possible, Richard?
Based on the last report that we got, everything was in compliance, no action required. We are in a good spot as far as what we've been seeing. I know Brennan, the landscape architect, is out there today with us. We are not seeing, much sediment runoff and whatnot in the silt sacks, so we are in pretty good shape.
Okay. Are you still out there on a daily basis or no?
I would say our superintendent's there on it's an as needed basis when Gerber's back. So things and also
Okay.
some stuff inside. We were there on Monday with HVAC crews, making sure everything was finalized, things like that. So it's on an as needed basis.
But Jamie's there.
He is.
Right, I'll stop up hopefully tomorrow and kind of walk the site with him.
He's actually not there tomorrow.
Oh,
I can walk with you though if you'd like. I can meet you there.
all right, I'll call you if I can make it.
Okay.
All right, anybody have any questions? Okay, thank you. So now we'll go back to item 4. Take action on prior meeting minutes. I believe we have 2. The meeting of Thursday, September 5th. And there's my second.
September 19th.
Thank you. It's September 19th. If someone would like to move a motion on both of those for approval as minutes as written.
So moved.
Thank you, Dave. And a second.
Second.
Thank you, Brittany. All those in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Rich, construction manager's update,
Yep.
action on the potential invoices that you have. Excuse me, change orders if you have.
Kind of very similar to what Eileen and Jennifer have said. We're working largely in the background on closeout, collecting all the warranties, O&Ms and whatnot, to turn over to the owner, getting all those reviewed by either the architect or the engineers behind the scenes, working through all that. You also see on the change orders, we're working on consolidating and taking back some of these credits that were within subcontracts. So those are credits coming back to the owner for work not performed, such as additional fire stopping and Saturday overtimes that were not used. So we do have a few of them for tonight. We're still processing more in the background with the subcontractor change orders. So as we get those, we're going to keep rolling those into PCOs for review. So other than that, when we're on site, it's largely punch list items. Like I said, on Monday, we were in there taking care of HVAC, making sure everything was installed correctly. The commissioning agent and the mechanical engineer were on site for that as well. Rolling into the PCOs, PCO 262 was for some extra material required to make the kiln exhaust connection work. We're going to have to make some modifications to what was installed. I do have pricing and I got clarification from the mechanical trade contractor. So I'll be submitting the rest of that cost tomorrow to KBA and CSG for review. But this portion was from the kiln manufacturer for their materials that we needed to make that hookup. PCO 272 is relating to rooms 3 and 7. We had the mold issue at the end of the summer, right at the end of August. We're working on getting these guys, the contractors that did the work to bring that space back to being usable. Obviously, do need to get paid for that. We're working on getting deduct changes and credits back from responsible subcontractors on the envelope side. So there will be some deduct change orders to accompany this and offset some of these costs in that PCO 272. But right now we're just looking to get the contractors not related to the issues, but related to the fix paid on that. And then PCO 273 and 274 are both related to Saturday overtime that we had in contracts for resilient floors and fire alarms. We did not end up using their Saturday times or all of their Saturday times. So there are values coming back here for both of those contracts, as well as in PCO 275, the fire stopping. We had an allowance for additional fire stopping of existing locations. We used a portion of that. There's a $444.09 coming back that we did not use. And then PCO 278 is relating to a punch list item and locations, reducing the scope in the preform joint sealants. That was a scope item. So it was not specifically bought in any specific trade contract. So we're pulling that from the CM contingency to procure and install those. And KBA did make a field visit and reviewed that with the installer and determined a few locations that we need to do that work and kind of reduce the original scope. It does save a little bit on the contingency draw there. Total on all of those comes out to $20,401.55.
Any questions for Rich? I don't see any, so I'll entertain a motion that we approve PCO 262, 272, 273, 274, 275, and 278 with a total amount of $20,401.55.
So moved.
Thank you, Dave. And a second.
Second.
Thank you, Brittany. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Eileen, I think it's back to you with invoices. Excuse me.
Okay.
Well, some of this you're gonna see too, so it's not confusing. This is, some of this is redundant. We've approved some of these already, but now they're actually invoices, so we need to pay them. So we're gonna approve them again.
Right.
Just so nobody can accuse us of not being open.
All right, so we have 5 invoices here. We had a purchase order for 130,000 for creative recreation. We need another 4,838. I know that Lauren said the creative recreation invoice for $8,043 was paid. However, we need a vote and an increase to the purchase order to approve the invoice for $126,795. So Steve, do you want to make that motion now or wait until after this is?
Lauren, can we do them together or you want to do it separately?
You can, we would have to do them separately. So let's do all the invoices first and then we'll do a second
Yeah.
motion to increase the PO.
Okay,
Okay, so those are the 2 creative playthings. That was for the inner courtyard for the playscapes.
and the additional money, if I remember correctly, was for unseen conditions, being rock and debris in the ground, correct? So additional labor to
Yes,
get
it's,
the holes.
yes, that's
Right,
what
they had to
we're
drill
informed.
the stanchions for the various items on the rubberized surface, and that's where they hit the rock refusal. They had to do some extra work. And
Yeah, and then I see it now too. And then we also agreed to pay him to pressure wash the existing playground surface.
Right.
We had talked about that on one of the
Right.
meetings prior to this. Okay,
Yeah, it was actually back in June. I think it
Yeah.
was the 20th or 19th. All right. So then this is Suzak, our structural engineer, his last invoice, which bills, this is billed out to date, so $1,200. IES,
he only paid him
They're-
$4,800 for all the inspections he did. Am I reading that
I
correctly?
think the rest was under KBA.
Oh, okay.
Yep, this,
That sounds.
all we
way
had.
cheap.
We'll take it and run.
Yeah, so he is a consultant to KVA and we paid him for additional services.
Just the special inspections,
Yes, yeah, okay.
so. Yeah. All right, then we have IES. So this is our commissioning services and they're nearly completed. 1,698.90. And we have a KBA monthly invoice, 11,984. Go back.
So I entertain a motion that we approve the 2 invoices for creative recreation, Swayzak, the structural engineer, IES and KBA's monthly invoice in the amount of $149,000 $720.90.
So moved.
Thank you, Dave. Brittany? You gonna say-
Second.
Thank you, Brittany. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Before we move off of this, I mean, there was one that I wanted to bring to the committee. I don't know if we have it.
I do. I have two more, but,
Want to put them up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's
And then do
do,
you want to complete
yeah.
this one first?
yeah, we need to create, we need to increase, do we have an exact dollar amount or no?
Yes, 4,838.
So we need a motion to increase the purchase order for creative recreation by $4,838.00, correct?
Correct.
Dave,
So moved.
thank you. Brittany,
Second.
thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, and we
So-
have just a couple more.
Yeah, so this one, as you know, a lot of these in the past, I was approving in the field because it had to do with construction and to keep it moving, but this is something that is after the fact. We, in putting the basketball court back together, we found that the existing backboards are really no good anymore. And I think we should replace them for the project. And the dollar amount is right in front of you. $8,791.88. What's the pleasure of the committee? We obviously have the money. All right, let me do it another way. I'll make a motion that we approve the replacement of the basketball hoops in the amount of $8,791.88. So I
So
made the
moved.
motion. Thank you. Is that you, Kim?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just got on, yeah.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dave. All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. What else do you have?
Okay, so the other one that I have a quote for in front of me is for Vivi's for technology, 23,994. So these are additional technology that Greg is looking for.
So these are licenses for the computers we bought for, what are they for?
Hardware and software.
Yeah, but for what?
For the
Mhm.
Vivi's, I'm sorry, those are the large screens. They're in the
Oh, for the
classrooms.
big
They
screen
use the
TV,
Viv, yeah, yes,
Ones that are in all the classrooms? Okay.
yes.
Okay, so I entertain that someone make a motion in the amount of $23,994 to Vivi LLC for 62 pro licenses so that the classroom TV monitors, probably TV is the wrong word, but monitors have the appropriate hardware and software to run.
So moved.
Thank you, Dave. And a
Second.
by Brittany.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Brittany.
Kim has a question, Steve.
Yep, go ahead, Kim.
Yeah, these are for the licenses. How are these? How long are the licenses for? When will they need to be renewed? And we're good. I mean, I'm assuming that this wouldn't be brought to us unless we had the money to be able to pay for this.
We definitely have the money to pay for it, and I think
Correct.
if I'm reading this right, it looks like the licenses are good until October 14th, 2027. Is that correct, Lou?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're 3 years, Kim.
Okay, and then that will come up in
That
the
would be in the-
budget.
Yeah, that would be in the board's budget moving forward,
Yeah.
not us.
Okay, no, I was just curious. Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All those in favor signify, do we vote on it yet? I don't think so. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
all I think that we have, correct, Eileen?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the quote on the other one.
Okay,
And then some furniture items that I still need to get the pricing on.
okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop. Thank you.
Yep. So. Do we have any other business pertinent to the committee? Lauren, you got anything for us?
Nope.
Eileen,
No, thank you.
Jennifer, I know you wanted to be over. And I don't blame you. You've been there a long time.
I'll stay as
Jeremy
long.
has
as
his
you
hand
need, it's
raised.
fine.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, hey, I don't know if it's time for comments by members yet. Are we at that point? Can we get there?
Yeah, we're almost there. Go ahead.
Somewhere there. A couple things. One, $9,000 for basketball hoops is a little shocking to see, but I guess that's the going rate nowadays. I think the one I have in my yard is I got for $25 off of Craigslist. So, so that's like, wow. But it was brought to my attention, I guess the base of the piers for the over, the entryway piece there. The
Canopy,
grouting
yeah.
is not in there, and there's gaps in the blocks. Are you guys aware of this?
Yes, there's a
Okay,
punch list item. The last time I saw it, I actually have not been there this week. So the last time I had seen, but Brennan was there today and I haven't. Brennan is our landscape architect, so he would have seen it today too. But last time I was there, they had not done the sealant yet in the caps. So that was a punch list item that needed to be done. Maybe Rich knows.
Yeah, I was there this morning. I left around 10 o'clock. They told me that Gerber was on site. They told me their mason was coming today to do that. I can't verify if they did or not, but we can look at it tomorrow.
Right.
Awesome. Great.
There
Yeah,
are
I
a
just want to
couple-
make sure somebody was aware.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And there are a couple of other punch list items related to those piers as well. So we're waiting for resolution on those things.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's it, Jeremy?
That's it.
Okay. So the next item actually is public participation, but we have no public, so you were right on time with your comments by members. Anyone else? Then a motion to adjourn. Anyone?
So moved.
Thank you, Jeremy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. I will see some of you in the next few minutes. Actually,
Will.
yeah.
Thanks.
Have a good night.